Welcome students. Let's continue with the question and answer which we were solving here. Okay. So now in this particular topic we are going to see how to solve this question and answer. So source for solving this question and answer we would like to start with the question number 5 where it is asking that sample of four metals A, B, C and D. Okay, so here four metals has been taken A, B, C and D and added to the different solutions one by one. Okay, we have added that four metals A, B, C and D to different solutions which are mentioned here. The results obtained have been tabulated as follows. Here we have obtained the tabulation also. So according to this table, we have to use this table to answer the following questions about the metal A, B, C and D. Okay, different questions is asked out here, so we have to answer that different questions which are asked below, and it will be based on this table only. So here metal A when reacted with iron 2 sulfate, no reaction is occurred, but when it is reacted with copper 2 sulfate, it displaces that. Metal B, iron 2 sulfate has been displaced that, and zinc with zinc sulfate, no reaction has been occurred out there. Metal C, it is having no reaction with iron 2 sulfate, no reaction with copper sulfate, and no reaction with zinc sulfate. But it is undergoing displacement reaction in with the silver nitrate salt. Metal D, no reaction with iron sulfate, no reaction with copper sulfate, no reaction with zinc sulfate, and no reaction with the silver sulfate. Okay. So let's see what are the different questions which we have to ask, which we have to answer on the basis of this table. Number one, the question is which of the metals is the most reactive metal? Next, what would you observe if B is added to solution of copper 2 sulfate? Number 3, arrange the metals A, B, C and D in the order of decreasing reactivity. So we have to answer these three questions. First, we have to find out which is the most reactive metal of the three of the four, that is A, B, C and D. So as we know that if we are comparing the zinc and iron here, okay, so zinc is more electronegative, more reactive element as comparison to that of the iron. Okay, because we will see that, please stop calling me a sweet zebra. Okay, here we will see that the zinc is present above the iron in the reactivity series, in the reactivity series of the metals. So hence, if I am writing the reactivity series, so the reactivity series is potassium. Okay, so let I be writing down the symbols only, not the full name. So it will be potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron, lead, hydrogen, carbon, not carbon, copper, then manganese, not manganese. I think manganese will be the copper, manganese, then silver. Silver means Ag. It will be represented as Ag. Then gold, platinum. So this is the reactivity series, and in reactivity series we can see that iron is present below the zinc here. Iron is present below the zinc here. So the substance which is the metal which is displacing the zinc sulfate here, okay, zinc sulfate here, it is the most reactive metal. So the displacement has been occurred in the case of zinc sulfate. No, in none of the case we will see that zinc has been displaced out there, but the iron has been displaced there. Okay, iron has been displaced there. So iron has been displaced by whom? Iron has been displaced by B metal, and all the other two metals, that is copper and the silver, they both are present below the iron. Okay, they both are present below the iron. silver, mercury is also there. Sorry, I have not given here mercury, silver, mercury, copper, manganese, mercury, silver, then gold and platinum is there. Okay, so here copper and silver are present below the iron here in the series, so hence they will be the least reactive and the iron will be the more reactive in there. And as we are knowing that zinc is not been displaced by any of this metal here, so we will say that the metal which is more reactive than iron here, it can be zinc, but it is unable to displace the zinc here. It means it will be zinc one, and zinc can easily displace iron from its salt solution. So hence the B metal here, which is displacing the iron from its salt solution, it will be the most reactive metal. Okay, it will be the most reactive metal as it can displace iron from its salt solution. The next question: what would you observe if B is added to solution of copper sulfate? So if we are adding the B to the copper sulfate, so naturally it will displace, okay, it will displace the copper sulfate here. So we will observe that on adding it here, we will see that the displacement reaction will occur out here. Okay, because copper is less reactive than the B metal, as it cannot displace zinc sulfate, but it can displace iron sulfate. It means that it is more reactive than iron, but it is less reactive than zinc. So it will be easily displacing the copper sulfate. Okay. Next, arrange the metals A, B, C, D in the order of their decreasing reactivity. Okay, so most reactive is B. Then the next most reactive metal will be A. Then it will be D. Okay, B, A, C, and D. This will be the reactive. This will be the order of reactivity. Okay, this will be the order of reactivity. So let's check the answer here. So the answers are: first B is there. Okay, first B is there. B is the most reactive metal because it gives displacement reaction with iron sulfate, which is the most reactive metal salt. Next, when B is added to copper sulfate, it will perform a displacement reaction, and we will see that the blue color of the copper sulfate solution is been disappearing there. Okay, and a red brown deposit of copper will be formed out there. Next, metal B is the most reactive because it displaces iron from its salt solution. And metal A is less reactive because it can displace copper from its salt solution. And metal C is still less reactive because it can displace only silver. And silver is very below in the reactivity series. Okay, so the and D cannot displace any of the metals here, so it means it is the least reactive. So the series is been there, the order will be there: B less than A, less than C, less than D. This will be the order. Okay, let's move further and see the next question. Question number 6. Question number 6. So in question number 6, what it is asking: which gas is produced when dilute hydrochloric acid is added to a reactive metal? Write the chemical reaction with iron when iron reacts with H2SO4. Okay, so here it is asking that when HCl is reacting with reactive metal, then which gas is released out there? So we know that when dilute acids are reacted with metals, so they undergo a neutralization reaction, and metal salts plus H2 gas will be released out there. Okay, metal salt plus H2 gas will be released out there. This is the general formula or general reaction for the reaction of dilute acids with the reactive metals. Okay, generally the metals here, it will be reactive metals. So for example, if according to the question, if I am taking a reactive metal, that is sodium, sodium, it is reacting with dilute HCl, then the sodium will displace hydrogen. Okay, it will displace hydrogen from there. So here sodium will displace the hydrogen from the HCl, that is dilute hydrochloric acid, and will form sodium chloride. So for forming two molecules of sodium chloride, and H2 gas will be released out here. So this will be the reaction here. Okay, so hence we will see that here on reaction with dilute acids of reaction, on reaction of dilute acid with metals, and that metals also must be reactive metals. Okay, then it will readily reacts with the reactive metals to form the hydrogen gas there. But if we are seeing to react iron with the dilute H2SO4. So here, as iron is less reactive, okay, iron is less reactive with the H2SO4. So here we would require small amount of heat. Okay, here small amount of heat will be required in order to perform this reaction. So here the displacement of H2 gas will be taken place here, and the iron will get attached to the sulfate here. Okay, what will happen here? Iron, okay, iron, it will release two electrons to attain a charge of 2 plus, and these two electrons will be accepted by the sulfur atoms here. Okay, sulfur ions will be formed out here. So hence the iron and sulfate, okay, iron and sulfate, both of these, what will they do? They will just combine with each other to form ferrous sulfate, and H2 hydrogen gas will get out, will be released out there. Okay, hydrogen gas will be released out there. So hence the answer here it will be hydrogen gas is produced when dilute HCl is added to the reactive metals. Okay, when dilute HCl is added to reactive metal, what will be happening? H2 gas will be released out there, or hydrogen gas will be released out there. And chemical reaction, when iron reacts with dilute H2SO4, so here Fe, which is solid, it will react with dilute H2SO4 to form ferrous sulfate plus hydrogen gas. Okay, ferrous sulfate plus hydrogen gas. Next, question number 7. What would you observe when zinc is added to a solution of iron sulfate? Write the chemical reaction that takes place. So here we have to observe that when zinc metal is been added to a solution of iron sulfate, so we have to observe which kind of reaction, chemical reaction will take place here. So obviously, as we know that potassium, sodium, magnesium, aluminium, zinc and iron. So here we are seeing that in the reactivity series, zinc is present above the iron there. It is present above the iron there. Okay, in the reactivity series. So it means that zinc can easily displace. Okay, zinc is more reactive than iron, so it will easily displace the iron from its salt solution. Okay, so hence here the zinc has been more reactive than iron. Therefore, when zinc is added to a solution of iron to sulfate, then the greenish color of the iron to sulfate, okay, iron to sulfate, that is FeSO4, it is green in color. Okay, it is a green colored salt. So when we are dissolving the salt in the water, we will find out that the water has become greenish. It has become greenish in color. Okay, so slowly we will see that the fading of the green color will be there, and a colorless solution will be appeared out there. The colorless solution which is formed out there, it is nothing other than the zinc sulfate. So this reaction can be represented as FeSO4 in aqueous. Okay, that is it has been dissolved in water, plus zinc, that is solid. It will give zinc sulfate and iron. Zinc sulfate and iron. So this is the reaction. Next, question number 8. So the question number 8 is asking here, first write down the electron dot structure for sodium, oxygen and magnesium. Next, show the formation of Na2O and MgO by the transfer of electrons. Next, what are ions present in these compounds? So let's start and answer this question. So first, it is asking that we have to write down the electron dot structure for sodium, oxygen and magnesium. So what is electron dot structure? It is also termed as Lewis dot diagram. Okay, it is also termed as Lewis dot diagram. So here in the Lewis dot diagram, for any of that element, we can write it by using the symbol of element, and on the symbol of element, the dot or cross is being used to represent the number of electrons. Which electrons? Valence electrons. The number of valence electrons present in that atom. Okay, so this is the Lewis dot diagram. So let's represent the Lewis dot diagram for sodium. First, the question here is for representing the Lewis dot diagram for sodium. So sodium's electronic atomic number is 11. Its electronic configuration will become 2 comma 8 comma 1. So the number of valence electron in the sodium is 1 only. So here the Lewis dot structure for sodium will be Na with 1 dot or 1 cross. Okay, Na with 1 dot or 1 cross. It will be the answer here for sodium's Lewis dot structure. Next, for the oxygen's dot structure. So for oxygen it is number is 8, 2 comma 6. So how many outermost electrons are there? 6 valence electrons are there. So how to represent this? 1, 2, 3, 4. So what we have done, we have just arranged the 4 dots, that means 4 electrons in the sequential clockwise order. Then after this we will start to pair the electrons. So 4, 5, 6. So here we will observe that in the case of oxygen, 2 unpaired electrons are there and two pair of electrons is present. Okay, while in the case of sodium only one electron is present, that is also unpaired. So here what will happen? The sodium will be ready to release this electron. Okay, it will have a tendency to release the electron in order to attain a positive charge. While in the case of oxygen, it is very difficult and it will require a huge amount of energy to release 6 electrons. So what it will do? It will just accept 2 electrons to complete the octet. Okay, it will accept 2 electrons to complete its octet, and hence what will be happen here on exception of 2 electrons, we will see that the number of electrons will increase to 8 and it will attain a minus charge and form an anion there. Similarly, for magnesium, so magnesium number is 12, 2 comma 8 comma 2. So the Lewis dot diagram for magnesium will become Mg. Okay. So here what will happen? This Mg, magnesium, it will release these 2 electrons. In order to form a magnesium cation with a 2 plus charge. Okay, so this is the Lewis dot structure for your magnesium, oxygen and sodium. Next, the question is asking out here, we have to represent the formation of Na2O. So Na2O, here sodium is having the Lewis dot structure as like this. So here sodium will be releasing 1 electron to form a sodium cation. So here 2 sodium atoms will be used in order to obtain 2 electrons. Okay, we can also multiply 2 afterwards. So just writing here only one sodium. Okay, so this will be the reaction, that is. And in the case of oxygen, oxygen is possessing 6 electrons, out of which 2 are unpaired and 2 are paired electrons there. So here what will happen? Here the exception of 2 electron will take place. What will happen? It will accept 2 electrons. The oxygen will accept 2 electrons to form an oxygen cation, anion. Okay. So now this oxygen requires 2 electrons, but here only 1 electron has been released out there. So what we will do? We will multiply the first reaction with 2. So here we will see that 2 Na plus O gives 2Na plus O will give Na2 plus O2, that is Na2. Okay. Similarly, we have to form the compound for magnesium oxide. So magnesium, it is having 2 electrons in its outermost shell. So magnesium will release 2 electrons to form a magnesium cation. Then these 2 electrons will be accepted by oxygen. These 2 electrons will be accepted by oxygen to form oxygen anion. Now this magnesium cation and oxygen anion will combine with each other to form magnesium oxide, and the reaction will be written as oxygen 2 minus. Okay, so here formation of MgO has taken place. So this is the answer for the question number 2. What is the last? What are the ions present in this compound? So in the case of magnesium oxide, magnesium cation and oxygen anion is there, and in the case of sodium oxide, sodium anion and oxygen cation, cation and oxygen anion is present. So this is the for our question. So for today, I am attempting this much question only, and in the next class, we will see some more of the questions. So thank you for watching this video. We will meet up in the next class.